Hi, I'm Paul Hutchinson and welcome to the third episode of Pistol Shooting. What we're going to concentrate on today is the grip, the fundamental basics for everything else, the foundation for which we build everything with. So the grip's a vital element, okay? It's no good, think of it like this, it's no good drawing your pistol and grabbing hold of it like this, okay? Because you're not going to really do much with that apart from possibly hit someone over the head with it. So what we need to do is, when you're grabbing a pistol, the grip's a vital element. We need to get the pistol, we need to get our grip, as high up in the pistol as we physically can. Textbooks will tell you that the higher the grip, the more control we have of the recoil impulses as the weapon starts to go through its recoil. So grip's vitally important. We go as high as we can. Now what we're trying to do is basically get our hand as high up the beaver tail as possible, and the more flesh we have on the weapon, the better. So even down to my finger here underneath the trigger guard itself, okay? Now my trigger finger, vitally important, that what I use is the center pad of my trigger finger, just there, okay? And what I do is, if I put the center pad on, what you'll see is a little bone effect there. Now that bone effect allows me to be able to manipulate the trigger squeeze in one smooth continuous squeeze. If I actually put my finger all the way through and use the knuckle or another element of my trigger finger, what it does is it binds those motor skills up, okay? So that's where I come to. We'll come on to trigger squeeze in the fourth episode. So thumbs. Thumbs have a day off. They have nothing to do with pistol shooting, okay? And by that, what I mean is that what we need to do is just allow them to naturally align forward. People say claw it down. Don't claw it down. It's two vital reasons, which we'll come to in a second. But thumbs just should be naturally aligned and allow them to move forward. They're not going to interfere with the top slide, nothing like that. So why don't we claw it down? Very simple. If I claw it down, as you can see here, that's the actual magazine release catch. Now there's a possibility in a contact that if I've clawed my thumbs down, that my thumb, which doesn't work on this particular weapon because they're only small, but I'll move it this way, is if my thumb goes on top of the magazine release, then basically what's going to happen is that. Alright, I'm going to be left with one up the spout and a club in my hand, because that's as much use as it is. Okay? So what we do is we allow them to naturally go forward, like I say. The second reason, and just as important, believe it or not, is the fact that if I do claw my thumbs down, what you'll notice here, if you look at my front foresight, is as I actually manipulate my thumb and claw it down, you'll see that my front slide actually moves to the right just by 2 or 3 mil. Now, okay, you might say it's up close and personal, there's not really much of a problem with that. And there isn't. If the shot you're aiming there, it goes here. So what? But if you're taking a shot at long range, or you're taking a small target, then that 2-3 mil movement is vital. Okay, I said in the first episode, it's about this being a natural alignment to your body, okay, and that when you draw your pistol, it should be straight out. It's no good if you're pointing it straight out and it's actually pointing across to the side. So it's vitally important that we don't claw our thumbs down. So what we do is we have a support hand and a strong hand, okay, and this is a 60-40 split. By that what I mean is this grip is 40% of the grip, okay, with my strong hand. I've got to manipulate the magazine release when I want to. I've got to the trigger squeeze, etc., safety catches, etc., etc. So this hand is my support hand. This is recoil control, okay. So again, it's about putting as much flesh as we can. Now what I want you to note is just along here, the thumb, the heel part of my thumb, is what I do is I just place that on top of the magazine. I engulf the whole weapon all the way around, okay, and again the flesh from the top part of my actual finger is actually on the trigger frame itself, and again notice my thumb is just going along the frame. Now for some people it's quite happy to be stood here like this. Other people recently have started to present the thumb in a more forward position and engage in a bit more weapon on there. It's subjective, it's up to you, okay, it's what works for you, and that's the key thing with all pistol shooting is it's got to work for you. So back to this grip. When we look at it, like I say, what we're looking at is a 60-40 split, okay. Now we're trying to engage it, we're trying to push the weapon forward, alright. Now what some people do is they turn around and say, right, well, use the finger of your support hand and put it around the front of the trigger guard. Now I personally don't like it. I know that some pistol shooters that do it, and there's some very good practical pistol shooters that do it. It's just, for me, it just doesn't work. And I have the principle that if this is 40 and this is 60, This is recoil control. What I want to do is I want to consolidate my grip around that weapon in order to control it. Maybe because I've got little T-Rex arms and little T-Rex hands that, you know, I don't have the ability to do that. Maybe someone with a bigger hand, possibly. So what we need to do is we need to be able to look at that particular position. It's completely up to you with regards to how you want to do it. If you want to push it further forward or back, like I say, it's subjective. So grip's vitally important. Now, people often say to me, how strong do I hold it? How do I grip it? And that varies. That, again, is different. What you've got to think of is this. If you picked up a little sparrow off the floor, you want to hold it tight enough that you don't let it escape, but you don't want to kill it either. Now, some people are gripping like a white knuckle, and you can see the hands shaking. It's a balance that you'll get, and the more and more you shoot, the more that you'll understand the grip. One of the vital elements of grip, though, is, as well, is making sure that those wrists are locked. Okay. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.